meeting every week, and so tonight y'all are going to get to experience that. It's going to be, some shows were made a week ago, a month ago, some were figured out last night. And you know, you may be asking yourself, like, what, these guys are so unprofessional, some of them are using scripts. Well, that's because this is a Cantastoria festival. And Cantastorias are traditionally a super fast, easy, quick, and dirty street theater method.
Exactly. The Cantastoria is the Italian word for a form of street theater that's actually been traced back to the 6th century and is
for stripers. Stripers need to be protected from heat.
The right to stay warm.
The right to stay warm. They need the right to stay warm.
The right to breathe.
Right to breathe. They need the right to walk freely on the sidewalks, and they need to be able to be heard, so they can't be blocked from being heard. Call your city council members. There's a phone number at the back on the table that you can call as soon as you get home.
I figured it out.
Ladles and jelly spoons, crabs and clams, and everyone above and beyond, we now proudly present to you the Hoka, your pointer finger out Hoka. Oh my gosh, it's Grandma's birthday. I almost totally forgot. All the aunts and uncles are going to be there. There's going to be punch and presents and cake. It's going to be great. Let's go see how they're doing. Oh no! It's a complete scene of chaos. The cake is on fire and flying through the air. Grandma spilled her punch on her presents, and this child has lost its helium balloons. And somewhere in the center here, there's some sort of wild animal attack occurring. What can we do? What should we do? There's only one thing we can do. Let's find someone to blame on misbehavior to be corrected. Can't we just name a name so that our anger may be directed? When someone drops the ball, breaks the rules, fouls up the game, poke your finger out, wag it all about play, play, play. All right, let's investigate. Grandma's party was a mess. The cake
Dr. Iman, hello.
هذا هو ظل همام علوة، أحد الأطباء الأكثر تدريباً في غزة، الذي قتل هو مع والده ووالد زوجته وصهره يوم السبت عندما
the rattlesnake, the toad, and the vampire, he made the scab. A scab is a two-legged animal with a corkscrew soul and a backbone made of jelly. Where others have hearts, he carries a tumor of rotten principles. When a scab comes down the street, men and everyone else turn their backs, and the angels weep in heaven. And the devil shuts the gates of hell to keep them out.
Recent UAW strike. Where is the factory then? Where's the factory? Where's our factory? Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Here it is. The recent UAW strike. DSA members organized a group of solidarity affinity groups to. I did not read my script today. Let me start over. During the recent UAW strike, a group of DSA members organized a blockade of a busload of scabs.
Is on strike. One day your manager comes to you and says,
"Are you certified in public safety in the plant?
no.
Do you have a yeah. Are you trained in mobile equipment management? Would you like to be trained in mobile equipment management? Have you the ability to work 30 feet up in the air? Would you like to, would you be able to lift 25 pounds with or without assistance? Well, I think, are you willing to move out of state and work?
As appealing as it might be to drive a forklift in outer space or another state instead of working at your desk, don't do it! Your boss is trying to turn you into a scab. But what reason will you give your boss for saying no? This can be awkward. Simply say,
I can't do that because Miss Manners is very clear. No explanation is necessary.
Follow the Fauntleroy family fate and fortune as they fluctuate in the flow of their irrefutably fraudulent fabrications. Inspired by Western black and white photographic negatives circa 1920s through 40s, found in a musty Detroit basement, don't be fooled. The flat-foot flute performed in the key of F. Infant Fauntleroy inflames Fanny on first fliver parade. Future elephant chauffeur. Famished Fauntleroy fillets fish for family Friday. Father's offspring follows familiar photogenic fence. Five fashion gifted Fauntleroys freestand formally in front of finance board. Fauntleroy's fathers fighting fascists. Fauntleroy's physician found father's physique physically flawless and first rate, fitting in a flavor of felicity and fitness.
And now we present Cupid's arrow.
Ready, Wes? Oh, here it is. Oh, make first and last. See when.
Welcome, my children, to Sunday school. It is so beautiful to see all of you. I am your priest, Father Mother, and I'm going to read for you the book of Genesis in its entirety with nothing omitted. Now, in church, when we read a passage of Scripture, the priest will say, "The word of the Lord," and you all will say, "Thanks be to God." So let's run that. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Beautiful, my children. It's music to my ears. Now let us begin in the book of Genesis. It's a story about what it means to be human, but in order to understand that, you have to understand what God is. So I made a helpful diagram. Imagine infinite milk. That's God. Now put the milk in a cauldron and boil the cauldron until the milk spills over into another cauldron, which boils on, and so on and so on. The first trickle of God milk was the crown, and from the crown there came wisdom. And from the wisdom there came understanding. From the understanding there came love. From love there came judgment. From judgment there came beauty. From beauty there came endurance. And from endurance there came splendor. And from splendor there came the vessel. Now in the vessel, God created a sphere and spoke into it, his breath and his spittle pouring into it. That was the Word, and the Word was the final emanations. And you can see the dead body of the Word right here. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Beautiful, my children. Chapter 2. Now we walked with God happily together in our home in the great sphere until we realized we could separate ourselves from this garden God has created for us. So we said to one another, only we wear the crown of creation. None of us could really explain why. Only we have true wisdom and true understanding. We challenged the animals to debate us, but they didn't, so we had to assume we were correct. Now, it follows, if we have true wisdom and understanding, only we can truly love, and only we can truly judge. So it follows that we can imprison some people and execute others. We can marry some people and fuck others, so on and so on. Only we have true beauty on account of that being so beautiful. And anything that was comparably beautiful, we just took a knife and skinned it and put its pelt over our shoulders so we became even more beautiful than before. Now, that follows that only we have true endurance, for only we have history. Only we truly live in such beautiful splendor. We said this while staring into each other's eyes and nodding to give affirmation, jerking each other off. That way, it was solidified as a fact. Now, only we have the ability to create, and only we have the ability to use words. We said this as the birds sang to one another above our heads, and the beavers built a lodge in the river. So the garden became insufficient for us, and we had to exile ourselves and build something of our own. We called it the metropolis, the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Oh, that's music to my ears, my children. Chapter 3, Deacon, please.
It's upside down this time.
It is very upside down, Deacon. Could you correct the scripture for us? Thank you. Now, the first builder of the metropolis was a shepherd named Abel. He had 1,000 goats. And when he was hungry, he took a rock and he would beat the goats with the rock until they were dead, and he ate them, and he was a very rich man. The second builder of the metropolis was his brother, a vegetable farmer named Cain. Now, Cain loved what Abel was doing, so he took a rock and he beat Abel over the head until he was dead and took ownership of the farm he had created. A couple of generations after, he had a grandson named Lamech. Lamech loved his grandfather, wanted to honor that legacy. So he took a big burlap sack over his shoulder and a big rock in his right hand. He traveled through the countryside. When he saw something pretty, he put it in the sack, and if someone said no, he just would beat them with the rock until they were dead. And then he put them in the sack too. Now in those days, there was a drunk man named Noah. He was very drunk all the time, and God loved him. So God sent an angel to this drunk man. He was content to just drink his liquor and hang out with his boys all day. And he found favor in the eyes of the Lord because of this. So God sent an angel. The angel said to him, "Behold, the earth will be flooded for 40 days. Build an ark, put the innocent animals and all your boys and your liquor on the ark, and you'll be saved." Noah was greatly disturbed. He ran to his neighbor's house and started knocking on the door. The neighbor said, "Hey, Noah." Noah said, "Oh my God, we're all going to die. Build a boat." The neighbor said, "You're just drunk." And to be fair, he was very, very drunk. So the flood came, and the flood went, and the only ones left were Noah, the animals, his liquor, and his boys. He stripped himself naked, and he went up to the top of the hill. And he built a moonshine still, and he lived out his life, his liquor, and his boys. Now, the fourth builder of the metropolis was a genius named Nimrod. What a genius. He hung on to the back of the ark so he survived the flood, and he saw all the beautiful exotic animals being created off it, and he said, I can make a killing on them. So he took a rock, and he beat them over the head with the rock until they were dead. He took them to his taxidermist friend and had them stuffed, and he put them in cages and charged people a nickel to see them. He became a very wealthy man. He was so wealthy and so popular, he ran out of animals to attract, so he built a tower of cells and put particularly beautiful people in the cells, and they were just as popular with the tourists. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
That just makes my heart melt in pure joy in the inspiration of the Spirit. Thank you, Lord. Chapter 4, please, Deacon. That's chapter 5. Yeah, we want Abraham in his lot. Yeah. Now, a few generations after that, there was an old barren couple named Abraham and Sarah. They had tried to impregnate each other for years. It never worked out. They didn't really know what they were doing. But God looked on them, and they found favor in the eyes of the Lord because they loved the words of God above anything else. So God sent one of his drunk priests, one of the sons of Noah, to come visit them. And the priest gave them this blessing. Blessed are you, Abraham and Sarah, for the Lord will make your descendants like the dust of the earth. Blessed are you, Abraham and Sarah, for the Lord will make your descendants like the stars in heaven. Now, Abraham wrote these words on his heart, but Sarah thought they were kind of funny because the priest was very drunk. But the next day, she found she was pregnant, and she began to laugh and laughed until it hurt, and in her pain, she birthed a son and named him Laughter. Now, they loved the baby. He was a beautiful baby. Everyone loved this baby. He was gorgeous, well-educated, smart, cute baby. But Abraham had a dream, and in the dream, the Lord told him, take your baby up to the mountain and prepare him as a burnt offering to me. Abraham woke, trembling, soaked in sweat and piss and all that. He was very scared, but he loved the words of the Lord above anything else. So what could he do? He took his son upon his back, and he took a knife in his right hand. He went to the top of the hill, and on the top of the hill, he built an altar, and on the top of the altar, he placed his baby. He wept bitterly over the child. He drew his knife, put it to the baby's throat. But lo, a miracle occurred. The Lord made the baby's skin like iron, so he could not hope to cut it. At this, Abraham wept even harder. Why is the Lord teasing me? Doesn't he want me to do this? So he skipped right to the end. He took out a match, and he struck it, and he threw it on the kindling. But lo, a second miracle had occurred. He had wept so hard over the altar was soaked, and he couldn't set it on fire. He wept even more bitterly, sobbing so hard he couldn't speak, as he picked up a rock, and he walked over to the altar, and he raised his right hand above his sleeping baby. But lo, a third miracle occurred. For the first time in all creation, the Lord took on flesh, and it was the flesh of a goat. The goat said to Abraham, beloved child, do not harm your son. Take me instead. I will be your sacrifice, and the Lord himself will provide the kindling. So Abraham, he took a rock, and he went over, put the goat on the altar, and he beat it until it was dead. As soon as it breathed its last breath, fire from heaven fell. It consumed the goat. It consumed the altar. It consumed Abraham's tears he had shed over it. It even consumed the rock that Abraham had dropped to his feet. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Beautiful, my children. Beautiful. Now, when Laughter came of age, he had twin boys. One baby was named Harry because he was a hairy baby. The other baby was named Jacob. He was a very lazy baby. He didn't like to work. He just wanted to cry and smoke all day like a typical baby. He spent his life taking everything that the hairy baby produced in his labor, until one day Jacob stole even his inheritance and everything the family owned. He was so ashamed that he fled the country and went to the metropolis, where he found a woman who he fell in love with named Rachel, and he sought to marry her. So he went to her family's house. She had an older sister and a father who was very, very wealthy, owned an emerald mine or something like that. And he went to Laban, the father, and he said, I'd like to marry your daughter. And Laban says, sure, if you work for me. You can work 7 years and I'll give it to you for free. So he loved this woman. What could he do? He went to his emerald mine, Laban's emerald mine. He worked 7 years. He came back up and found a wedding feast already prepared. he saw a strange veil upon the bride, a very odd veil, very goofy. But he didn't want to question it because it's, local customs or whatever. So he was married, and after he was married, he lifted the veil, and lo, it was Rachel's older sister, not Rachel. He came to Laban and said, "What's going on?" Laban said, "Hey, no refunds. My daughters are my most precious commodities, but you can marry the other one if you work another 7 years for me." So what did Jacob do? He descended back into the mines. He loved this woman. Why would he do anything different? So he went back into the mines. He worked there another 7 years and got the black lung while he was down there. He came back up, and he was married to his love, Rachel. In the morning after the wedding, the family saw the depths of his illness. He was coughing up blood, all that stuff. Laban, this man right here, he said, "I know what that is. That's the black lung. Nobody knows what causes it, but if you go back to the mines and work another 7 years, I'll give you the cure for free." What could he do? His life was on the line. He went back into the mines, and he worked another 7 years, but halfway through his shift, the Lord put him to sleep. And in his sleep, the Lord gave him this vision. He saw everything he had ever done to the hairy brother he had, the hairy little baby, and how he had stolen everything from him and from his father and his household. And he saw all the sins of Laban, the father of his bride, and lo, they were of the same substance. Then the Lord showed him this vision. There was a ladder that went from the very tops of heaven down within the earth that Jacob slept. And angels ascended and descended upon it. And at the top was the Lord. And the Lord said to Jacob, "Behold, I am with you always unto the end of the age. The earth within which you sleep will be the property of your descendants." Jacob awoke in holy zeal. He cut his shift short. Falling off there, bud. There we go. He went up and he sacked Laban's house, taking him for all he was worth. He took his wives, and he went back to the land of his brother and of his father. And while he was still a long ways off, his brother saw him, ran to him, falling at his feet. He said to his household, "Bring for my brother the finest garments, and adorn him with the finest jewelry. Slaughter our fattened goat, and prepare a feast, for my brother was dead and far off, but now he is near, and he is alive." The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Beautiful, beautiful. You can just hand me the other one directly. Now, when Jacob came of age, he had a bunch of kids, and they did a bunch of crazy shit. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
willing to take on